Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be reading chapter 18 called Proof Positive. For the rest of the day, Cooper's mind is a whirl. There are so many things that he has to ask Roddy, but back at school, that's impossible. Mr. Marquise has been watching him like a hawk ever since his strange behavior at the Wolfson collection. His fellow students are all over him, too, curious about his altercation with Stratford's most famous resident. Being What's-His-Face wasn't fun, but at least he could rely on having a little privacy. Now he's the nut job who got the entire 7th grade kicked out of the museum, and everyone is interested in what makes him tick and why. Even in the seclusion of the bathroom stall, he's aware of his next-door neighbor possibly listening in. The last thing he can risk is a long one-sided conversation with the ghost on his cell phone, but the suspense is killing him. Roddy has so much to tell him. The secret collection is real, and it has the ghost's original manuscript in it. To make matters worse, Roddy hasn't shut up since his arrival back on the bus. As Cooper tries to struggle through the rest of the day without getting anyone else mad at him, his head is being filled with endless details of the secret gallery behind the door. Costumes and props from Shakespeare's career as an actor, furniture and clothing from his house at Stratford upon Avon, documents with his signature, including a certificate of marriage to one Anne Hathaway. And each of these objects doth bear a seal or marking proclaiming that it be property of a great museum or library. Roddy concludes, "Dost thou not see? These things are hidden behind a locked door because they are stolen, just as surely as Barnabas and Ursula was stolen from me by Shakespeare himself." "I get it," Cooper hisses. "I just can't talk right now." "But Cooper Vega, thou must listen to me." It gets so bad that Cooper removes the wireless earbuds. He can feel it in his pockets buzzing away as the ghost goes on and on. Insulted, Roddy lets himself out of the phone and circles Cooper's head, shaking a shimmering fist, a highly risky move in the middle of a social studies class. After school, in the privacy of his room, Cooper pops the earbuds back in. Roddy sounds a little insulted. "Forsooth, now thou hast time for me," Elizabethan sarcasm. "Sorry," Cooper apologizes. "It's just that this is a huge thing we have to talk about, and there's no way I could have done that in the middle of school, not after I got into that beef with the wolf." "Beef?" Roddy queries. I wasn't aware that dinner was served. Never mind that. The point is the guy's a crook with a secret gallery full of stolen artifacts that he can't show anybody or he'll get busted. You know, the watch will come after him. "There is but one part I understand not," the ghost says, frowning in concentration on the screen. "The wolf cannot exhibit a stolen item. This is as clear as dawn. But why doth he conceal Barnabas and Ursula? Yeah, it was stolen verily, but by Shakespeare, and not by him. And it is too late to arrest Shakespeare, though a more welcome addition to Tyburn gallows I cannot imagine." "Don't you get it?" Cooper explains. "If the wolf displayed Barnabas and Ursula, that would show the whole world proof positive that Shakespeare ripped off Romeo and Juliet, the first 3/4 of it anyway. Basically, he'd be admitting that he devoted his entire life and fortune to a big fake. He even made the people around here change the name of their town to Stratford in honor of you-know-who. And if the great William Shakespeare jacked one of his most famous plays, you've got to wonder what else he helped himself to. His reputation would be basically shot, trust me. The last thing the wolf wants is for anybody to find out about Barnabas and Ursula." "Thou must shout it from the rooftops," Roddy insists. "You're not serious. You remember what it's like to be a kid? Did anybody listen to you in 1596? Well, it isn't any different today. What am I supposed to do? Call up the newspaper and say, you know what playwright everybody thinks is the greatest genius of all time? Well, he's a phony. And how do I know? My pet ghost told me. Yeah, that'll work." "Thou hast reason," Cooper Vega, Roddy concedes, "but the solution is simple. I shall accompany thee. No man can deny the existence of a ghost that he sees with his own eyes, even if that ghost doth appear only on a phone." "It's too dangerous," Cooper tells him. "Thou needst not worry that I might be killed. The galleon hath already set sail." "It's not that," Cooper explains. "Most people don't believe in ghosts in my world. If I let anybody see you, every scientist in the world is going to come down on us. They'll take the phone apart circuit by circuit until there's nothing left but dust. And what happens to you? Where will you go? Will you have to wander forever, nothing but a cloud of sparkles? Will you just disappear? Thou paintest a grim picture," Roddy laments. Verily, my time was cruel, with the plague, harsh laws, and grinding poverty. But what improvements have the centuries brought if there's no justice for my Barnabas and Ursula? It stinks, Cooper agrees, but there's nothing we can do about it. The performance is on Saturday. Tomorrow the evening rehearsals start. We aren't going to have time for anything but Romeo and Juliet. Sorry, Roddy. "'Tis not thy fault, Cooper Vega," says Roddy, but Cooper detects an expression on the ghost's face that he can't quite identify. All right, next chapter in the next video.